What's up, guys? Expel here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my most requested video of all time on the channel, and I'm not joking when I say that. This is something that you guys have asked for on every single video that I've ever posted of Warzone. So today I'm finally going to do it just so that you guys can have this video and I never have to do it ever again. Please stop asking for this. Please, I'm begging you. Regardless, if this is something that you have been looking for, if this is in any way helpful, it'd be greatly appreciated. Consider dropping the video a like, subscribing to the channel. We are crushing our way to 100,000 subscribers, and with your help, we can absolutely pull that off. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just like lightly tap it and graze it. Just graze it a little bit like I am my microphone right here. Don't go, don't do that. Or you could also do that and just let it know who daddy is. And also make sure to turn on your notifications. Past that, it'd be greatly appreciated. You go over and follow me on twitch.tv/iamexpel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then last but not least, we have our two things you guys should definitely check out. The first of which is going to be my Discord. It's a great way to find some teammates to play with, or even submit your gameplay for me to review it, possibly in a video. And then also feel free to follow me over on Twitter. That's just where I'm at a lot, just like a whole lot. Regardless, let's go ahead and hop on into things and let's cover just everything, all of it. Everything. So ladies and gentlemen, we start up the game, and a big thing you may notice throughout my my streams, any gameplays every once in a while, you may see that when I press the Windows key, this pops up. You're like, hey, what's the deal, bro? Why does that pop up? Because when I press the window key, and by the way, this is on PC. For those of you on PlayStation, calm down. Whenever I'm on this, there's a section for you, by the way. We do have a section for you. We'll get there. Just hold on. Whenever I press the Windows key, it doesn't work. And the reason why is, first of all, I have it in full screen borderless mode. I just want to get that out of the way first. We'll talk about it in a little bit more. But let's go ahead and get into things. First of all, here's my I'm just kidding. I'm totally just kidding. So let's go over to keyboard and mouse and not show you it, because I'm not going to show you that first, because I'm going to make you wait, because I'm an a-hole. Let's go ahead and check out our general settings. So a lot of people ask me, hey, Expel, what's the deal? Why does it look like you run so fast all the time? Why are PC players running faster than everybody else on this PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like that? That's because we have a little slider called Field of View. What this does, it defines the height and width of in-game view. The value selected combined with the blah, 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 it just makes your screen wider. That's what it does. It makes your field of view a little bit wider. So we're going to be able to see just a little bit more than what you're able to see. And when I say that, I mean, like, this is your box and this is my box. A little crazier. Regardless, that's the best that I can explain it to you. And I do have that set to independent, which means that it does change whenever I aim down sights. Next, we have our brightness. You may notice that whenever I go into buildings, it is a little bit dark. So I do have my brightness set to 50%. It's just for the sake of videos. If I wanted, I could turn that puppy up all the way, and it would just look blown out all the time. I'm not a fan of that. Honestly, I thought maybe turning it up to about right, like 52 or something like that would work a lot better. I just leave it at 50. That's just how I am. HUD is going to be 100. I do skip the introduction movie. I can turn this off. It doesn't really make a huge difference, but I like to turn that off just for the sake of I don't want to see it. Tooltips, have those disabled. Subtitles disabled. Actually, subtitles are actually something you should enable if you want to see people flying in from the sky and you don't want to have to hear the voices. It's entirely up to you. This is just how I am. I don't want to read it while I'm playing. I did have them on for blackout, so it's a little bit different. I don't have any colorblind mode on. My minimap shape is going to be square. The reason why is just because you literally get like 20% more around the edges, probably even more, like 50% more. Holy moly, you actually get so much more around these edges than you would with the circle mini map. And I do have it set to rotate. I do have this set to show letters instead of numbers. That way I can call out east, south, north, west, stuff like that. Text chat, I have that disabled all the time because people are constantly spamming bad words. And when I say bad words, I mean like things I don't want to get demonetized for. And then we have dismemberment and gore. Do have that enabled because it's not like that big of a deal. FPS I have off. Most of this I have off just for the sake of me having clean video for you guys to watch and enjoy, so you're not seeing all that stuff at the top. Because let's be honest, do you really need a monitor? No. If I'm having issues, yeah, I can check my FPS and look at it right here. If I'm not having issues, I keep it turned off. There's just no reason to have everything turned on. I do have the show mute sound widget, so if I press F10, it shows that the sound is actually muted. And then there's our credits. Next, a big thing that people have been asking about is my graphics settings. Now, this is something you're not going to be happy about, but because for you, it's not going to work out. My graphics settings are going to be entirely different from what you have. I want my video to look the best that it possibly can, while at the same time being able to get the best frames that I can. And that's what I've done. I've gotten the best video and the best frames, but it does come at a cost. Before season 4, I was getting about 140, 150 frames. I'm now getting like 120, 110. So they screwed something up in season 4, and I'm not really sure what it is. But if you want the most frames, I would highly recommend, instead of doing full screen borderless, keep it on full screen. The reason that I do full screen borderless is because it allows me to go onto other screens with my mouse. Look right here. You're going to see the mouse go entirely off screen. Entirely off screen. So that's the difference. It's just so that I can, you know, get to the stream and everything like that a little bit easier. Not a huge deal. And then my display monitor is obviously going to be the Elgato. I do run on a 1440p 144 hertz monitor, so that's actually a big deal. And then my display adapter is going to be my graphics card. It is a RTX 2080 Ti Ultra. If you want to check out any of the gear that I have, if you want to see my actual setup that I have, I do have it linked in the description under the gear section, so go check it out. I have everything that I have in there except for the lens right here. I just need to update the lens, but everything else is perfect. It has everything. Render resolution should always be set to 100. If you have it less than that, I don't know why it doesn't even save that much GPU power. So I just, oh, that's not what I meant to do. I always keep it at 100. And then our aspect ratio is going to be set to automatic, which technically is just 16:9. Is it 16:9? I think it's 16:9. Then VSync always needs to be off. Always have VSync off. The only time, like, if you have a G-Sync or a FreeSync monitor, you can turn that on and that will work a lot better. I have FreeSync turned off on this monitor because it actually affects my Elgato. Yeah. And then our custom frame rate should be set to unlimited at all times. These are things that everyone should have, right? Set to unlimited. NVIDIA highlights, that's entirely up to you. Display gamma, I've got that on 2.2 RGB because I don't have a monitor. Well, actually, I think my, yeah, I don't have a TV, so it doesn't support that. Now, text resolution, whenever I'm getting my thumbnails, I turn everything all the way up. Everything goes all the way up whenever I'm getting my thumbnails, but whenever I'm playing, I don't do that. My texture resolution is set to normal because I want to see at far distances people and like where they're at. And texture filter whatever is set to high because it doesn't affect your VRAM usage in any way whatsoever. Particle quality is set to high because it doesn't affect anything whatsoever, really. I mean, 8 megabytes, so not a big deal. I just keep it on high. Bullet impacts and sprays are enabled because I do want to see those. Tessellation is disabled. I mean, I usually keep it on near, actually, so we can just keep it on near. It doesn't make a difference at all. Shadow map resolution I do have set to normal. This is going to be your shadows. If you have this turned up super high, it will affect you, and I promise that it will affect you. It doesn't look like it does a lot, but it does. Cache spot shadows. Now this actually used quite a bit and was hitting my frames a little bit more than I'd like, so I turned it down. I actually just disabled it. We also have particle lighting. Now let me say this, if anybody has any better settings, if you think that I should change any other settings, let me know with a comment down below, things that aren't going to affect my in-game playing or affect the way that things look really that much. I'd love to know your opinion down below in a comment. That's actually a big deal for me. Particle lighting I have set to ultra just because it literally affects nothing. We have ray tracing. Please keep that turned off. There's no reason to run that unless you're trying to get high quality gameplay for a YouTube video or something, and you're just like, you know, there's no reason for it in Warzone. Ambient occlusion, I've set to both because it's not a huge difference on my VRAM. The screen space reflection doesn't make a difference at all, so I just keep it on high. I've got this set to filmic, which I guess I should turn to maybe like SMA T2X, but I mean, whatever. I also have depth of field turned off. I don't like my guns looking a little blurry whenever I go to shoot because it messes up like the way that I'm seeing it. Filmic strength should be turned off all the way. So should film grain turn off all the way. Motion blur I've turned off, and weapon blur I've turned off. That's the reason why that I'm able to see everything perfectly whenever I'm flicking around. I can see everything very, very easily, because if you have on motion blur, it's a huge deal. It kind of messes with the way that you see everything, and it makes it hard to be able to grab things in the middle of turning. It makes it hard to see people in the middle of turning, so I keep motion blur off. My next huge setting that people ask me about is audio. I have it set to boost low. Everybody's like, oh, boost high is the best. Boost high is the best. Oh my God, boost high is the best. I don't care what you think about this. This is the way I use it. And the reason why is because I have boost low, but I also have an Astro A40 TR mix amp that I use paired with my headphones, my Go XLR, my computer, stuff like that. So I use boost low because I can change it with my Astro setup. That's the difference for me. And if you're wondering what that setup is, I think I may have it in Discord. I'm not 100% certain on that. If not, I think I can go back and get it somewhere. And then my master volume is set to 50. I usually actually keep it at like 75, but lately I've just kept it at 50 for the sake of recording videos. Dialogue volume, you do want this a little bit. I just put it to like a random spot. 25 is probably the best spot to have it. Effects volume, I've got set to 50. I have no idea what this is. Juggernaut music, don't know why that's even on. Hit marker sound effects, I have set to Modern Warfare. I used to have it set to classic, but Modern Warfare seemed to work fine. Voice chat I do have enabled. System default device, this is kind of hard to explain, but you need to set up your stuff properly within your computer if you are looking for this. And then I do have it set to push to talk. If I'm trying to get into a duos match and I'm trying to grab like maybe a random teammate, I always set it to open mic, and it'll actually get you a teammate with a mic. If you have this on and you're actually speaking the whole time, it'll get you a teammate with a mic more often. That's just a quick tip from me. Voice chat volume, I've got set to 93. I mean, I don't know where else I really need to have it. My microphone volume is set here. Like I can, hello, 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 hello. Like, I think they can hear me just fine. I'm genuinely not entirely sure. Like, I could turn it up here and it still makes no difference whatsoever. So I just keep it at like 140. And then voice chat effect. Yo, what? That's crazy. I don't even know what that is. Controller. So you guys were asking about controller. It's going to be set to default. Default. Inverted is disabled. We have dead zone set to 20. I don't know. I don't know. This is actually my settings, just so you guys know. These are the settings that I use, and this is what I was using for a while. But ADS low zoom, I used to keep this at like 0.75. I settled at like 0.56 on this. It's entirely up to you. High zoom is set a little bit higher. It's easier to snipe on controller, so if you like, you know, you're using a sniper, you're gonna actually like, when you go across somebody, it'll actually hook a little bit. So you can use the high zoom at a higher value than you can the low zoom. Aim response curve type, I hear that like linear is good for that. I'm not 100% sure, but I just use standard personally. Controller vibration, always have that disabled. In my personal opinion, it's the best thing to do. Otherwise, if you have controller vibration on, it's going to totally mess up the way that you're aiming at people. Aim assist is set to standard. Skill aim assist with FOV is disabled. ADS and melee enabled. On weapon mount movement exit, we've got hold on aim down sight, hold on equipment behavior, contextual tap, which means whenever you're in a vehicle, you need to hold it to get out, but tap it to get in, which is super, or hold it to reload, tap it to get in, tap to get out. Super weird when using vehicles. Depleted ammo switch enabled, so that whenever you run out of ammo, it automatically switches over. Slide behaviors hold, disabled. You guys get the picture. Last but not least, our most important thing, let's check out our keyboard and mouse. But before we get into that, let's look at our Logitech G Hub here, and let me kind of explain what I've got going on. Okay, so this is the mouse that I use. I use the Logitech G Pro wireless, and it's insane. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite mice that I've ever used. I love that it's wireless. I love how long the battery lasts. But the big thing that people always ask about mice is, what is your DPI? My DPI is set to 1450. That's just where I like it. It's in between slow and fast. It, like, whenever I'm doing this, it's right where I need it. Whenever I'm like moving the mouse around, it's exactly where I need it. So I've got it set to 1450. The report rate is 1000. And then when we get in here, we have our mouse sensitivity. That's going to be set to 2.5. This is going to give you like a good, like, you can still move your arm quite a bit whenever you're trying to, you know, find somebody. So it's, or like even flick to somebody, you can still move it quite a bit. It's all about getting used to your aim though. Now, vertical sensitivity multiplier is the same. Ground vehicle sensitivity multiplier, I've got that set to 1.2, but air vehicles, I've got it set, because it's the helicopter, I've got it set to 2, and it's still super slow. So it's really frustrating. Tablet sensitivity, I don't know what that is. Aim down sight is set to relative rather than legacy. And then my ADS low zoom is set to 0.5. My ADS high zoom is set to 0.5. We also have transitional timing set to gradual. And this should, from what I understand, supposed to be at a 1.33. Inverted is disabled. Mouse acceleration set to 0. Mouse filtering set to 0. And mouse smoothing is set to disabled. So I think that's it. I think that's all of the, no, I'm just kidding. Movement. Oh, we got to go through our keybinds. Holy moly. Just kidding. All right. Keybinds. Woo. We still got another 5 minutes of this stuff. So let's go ahead and look at our keybinds. Slide behavior is set to tap, which means when you're running, you tap it, you're going to slide. Toggle on the crouch behavior, which means it toggles. Toggles on prone. Automatic airborne mantle. So if you jump, it'll automatically mantle. I've got that disabled because it's such a pain in the butt whenever you automatically mantle in the middle of a gunfight. Sprint, tactical sprint behavior is set to toggle, which means if I press my button, it'll automatically go into it. Automatic sprint is disabled just because I don't want to automatically sprint, especially on mouse and keyboard. I just don't see the point in it. Parachute auto deploy, I do have that disabled just so that I can get closer to the ground before pulling my chute. Hold to use is disabled because if you do that, it takes longer to pick things up. And let's go ahead and look at our keybinds here. So WSD is always going to be your stuff. I've got my use button set to E. These are my personal favorite keybinds. We've got jump, stand, and mantle set to space. Crouch and slide looks a little bit weird here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then we have prone set to left control. I've got crouch and slide just turned off entirely. We've got prone set to left control. And then we have change stance and slide set to left shift. So it will do all of this, okay? So that's the big thing. That's the difference. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing, this is how I do it. This is just what I learned from games in the past, and I've always tried to stick with the same thing. I've got my sprint button set to Q. This is just so I can tap sprint as fast as I can, and it's right beside the W key. It just makes the most sense to me personally. I used to do that in Minecraft back in the day, so that's actually how I got used to that. Gesture and sprays is set to T, just so you know it's gesture and sprays. And then I guess that's all I've got for that. Weapons and equipment. Depleted weapon, we've already technically went over all of this, but if you want to check it out, this is it. Feel free to pause the video in this area. We're just going straight to the keybinds. Fire weapon is going to be the left. Aim down is right. It is set to hold. Change the zoom or the hybrid or whatever it is going to be the middle button, the scroll wheel. And then I also have that set to Q as well. I don't know why it doesn't say it there, but it is set to Q. Reload is R, always should be on every single game. My first weapon is going to be set to 1. I can also scroll for it. Well, actually, next weapon, it switches between my weapons, is set to 1. Weapon mount is turned off, but there's a reason for that. Alternate fire is also turned off. I have this turned off just for the sake of, oh my god, if I aim down sights, I'm going to effing lose it whenever it automatically changes and I have no idea. Like I'm sitting there shooting at somebody and it automatically changes. I'm like, what is going on? Because I'll be pressing the spacebar and accidentally hit the button with my finger or something like that. Just turn off alternate fire if your aim's good enough to not use it. In my personal opinion, that's just the best thing to do. Melee is set to F. It's right beside D, so it's easy for me to hit. Lethal equipment is going to be my front mouse button on the left hand side, and then tactical is going to be the back mouse button on the left hand side. I don't know what this is about. Field upgrade is going to be set to X. Mission ability is set to 4. And change, I don't know what all this is. Kill streaks and vehicles. None of this really matters, but kill streaks and munitions is set to 3. That's all you need to know there. Armor plate is set to 4. Center vehicle camera, blah, 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 blah. Okay. None of that matters. By the way, I don't know. Hold on. Weapon mount. Okay, so my weapon mount is aim down sight. It's right here. Go to weapons and equipment. I've got it set to ADS and use. So when I aim down, it's like the right mouse button and then E. So that's how I mount. Just so you guys know, a lot of people get lost on how that one works. Kill streaks and vehicles. If you guys need to pause it, feel free to pause it. Yeah, just feel free to pause it wherever you need to pause it. I don't know what else to say about this. Overlays and shortcuts. Yeah, so this is one that we need to see. Scoreboard is on hold. I've got scoreboard set to hold. I have map set to hold, and the reason why is because if I accidentally press those buttons, I don't want to get toggled in the middle of a gunfight, because actually caps lock is my maps button, so it ends up being a pain. Map cursor, I do want to see that. That would be a pain not being able to see that. Inventory is set to hold as well. System key behavior, operating system game. Oh, so I do want to have the Windows key. That's all about having the Windows key. So I have that set to operating system, that when I press it, it pops up this. Next, we have show scores set to tab. View objectives also set to tab. This is only available in campaign. Show map, I use caps lock. M is also a thing that I can do. Left alt is going to be my ping. Text chat, doesn't matter. Open inventory is set to tab. I try and keep everything with my left hand is the big thing, like as close to the left hand side as I can without pushing over to like the right side of the keyboard, because if you do that, it just becomes a huge pain in the butt. V is my push to talk button, and I think F10 is mute. Nothing else matters here. The menu navigation, our very last thing, the only thing you need to know is turn this off. This is all that matters. Just turn this off. Please, for the love of God, turn off navigate to the next tab. It is such a pain in the butt. This is like whenever you hop into, like whenever you go to get your loadout, if you accidentally press this button, which is automatically set to E, by the way. So if you automatically press this button, or it might be set to your use key, it'll switch to the next menu. So it gives you the pre-made custom loadouts. So if you turn this off, you actually get to see your classes. Someone told me that like months ago, and it was so useful. It was a comment that I got on one of my videos. Very, very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, that is every setting that I have for the game. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. That is everything that I could possibly think of, everything that I had. But I hope you guys did go on to enjoy. If you did go on to enjoy, do me a favor, drop the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure to turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. We are working our way to 100,000 subscribers, and I could use your help, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Past that, feel free to follow me over on twitch.tv/iamexpel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the two last things I'd like to say is that feel free to follow me over on, or join my, Discord in the description down below and in the pinned comment. It's a great way to find friends to play with, as well as submit your gameplay for my my coaching videos. And then last but not least, feel free to follow me on Twitter at iamexpel. It's just a great way to stay up to date with your boy. I give out a lot of random tweets there, a lot of help with people. So that's just the best place to be. Regardless, thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and please never ask me for my settings ever again. Thank you so much. Peace.